What's up, man? What's up?
What's good? What's going on?
Man, I guess we're gonna get into Kaepernick pissing off everybody on the right and fake and disingenuous people about Ali. So looking at the NFL preseason, I think Kaepernick he's set for the national anthem the first 2 weeks. Oh, there goes Sean. He popped up.
So,
What up, man?
how y'all
Yeah,
doing?
everything good, man. About to get on this Kaepernick talk.
Man, we sent the APB out on you, man. Put an Amber Alert and everything. We got a little nervous.
No, man. Like, I woke up and I was just like, oh shit. I was like, yo, it's 6 o'clock. I literally crashed like a couple hours. You know what I mean? Was
Yeah, man.
was Twitter terrorist at?
Man. He been gone 2 days. Somebody probably kidnapped him by now.
Oh man, well, he gone.
Them tweets catch up to you.
Yeah, he probably like Nas from the night of right now. But but we'll continue on without him though and get on this Kaepernick talk.
Oh yeah, of
So
course.
apparently, what up? What's up?
No, you read. You lead it off.
You're good.
Oh yeah, but back to Kaepernick. So apparently, the two preseason games he didn't play in, he didn't stand for the national anthem. No big buts. And third preseason week was basically the dress rehearsal. It's like the dress rehearsal for the regular season. He dressed out. So after the game and the post game, the media was wondering why he didn't stand for the anthem. So he went into detail that he felt that he wasn't going to stand for the anthem anymore till the oppression of black people stopped. And a shitstorm started after that on social media and politics. Man, it was crazy. What y'all? What's some of the thoughts y'all had on Kaepernick's stance to side with Black Lives Matter?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
well. Um, what else is he gonna stand for? I mean, I will say this: if he's only gonna sit down until black people are not oppressed in this country, then I don't know if he'll understand for the national anthem in his lifetime. Sadly, um, I thought that what he did shouldn't, like we said, it really shouldn't even be news like that. I thought it was I thought it was dope what he did. I thought that him taking a stand, and we talked about maybe on the first or second show about some of these athletes taking more of a political stance and being educated on their topics and really going into details about what they believe in, not just football, basketball, X's and O's. And so I'm all for it. I don't think from all the comments that I've heard and all the statements that he's made, he stayed consistent. Um, he's been real measured. He hasn't been, all emotional and getting upset. He's stating facts. I mean, the problem is in this country right now, people don't like facts. I mean, you got to come up with something else. I'm really, I'm puzzled at how this is even a divisive issue. Divisive. How this is going to separate a locker room or alienate yourself. You're basically saying that um, having black people have equal rights and being treated as equals or what like white people are treated is an issue that there should be argument about. So the whole stance of it being divisive to me is just it's hilarious to me. It's sad, but it's funny how people are like, oh, how is his teammates going to react? That he wants to be treated like everybody else? That his family, that other black people that he don't know that should have the same rights as everyone else? I don't see how that's a problem. So I don't know. That's why I stood on it.
yeah, I don't know how much you guys covered beforehand. I feel like because I wrote a blog about this on Saturday morning, uh, and I was kind of like, okay, wait. people are mad at Kaepernick for not singing the national anthem, but they do not care about his stance or his statement on why he's not doing it, and they're going to ignore why he's standing. And I felt like that was when I wrote my blog. My whole thing was in America, within his First Amendment rights, what he is doing is correct because technically the national anthem and the flag does not stand for like the troops and all that stuff. But I'll get to that in a second because this whole thing is really a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, we will get to that.
Yeah, I have a lot to think about that. So when I wrote my blog, I said Kaepernick, he's within his First Amendment rights. He's protested peacefully and silently, and doing it by himself. For me, there is nothing wrong with him doing that. You know, we sit here in America and we talk about how people should use their freedom of speech and freedom of expression. That's how I was told one time, because I said straight up that I think Donald Trump should just shut the hell up. So someone told me, ironically enough, a person who told me this is now mad at Kaepernick for doing this. How he needs to he's using his freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Cool, whatever. So Kaepernick his whole issue was that he sees oppression within the black community as a bad thing. I'm still confused on why that conversation has not been spoken about for the past 3 or 4 days now. Where everybody is ignoring the fact that that's his stance on his political stance. Like, you don't have to like the action and the motive. That's cool. If you think that disagreeing with his ability to sit for the national anthem, although that's within his First Amendment rights, if you think that's a bad thing, okay, cool. But are you gonna have a conversation about what he's doing right now, like his whole stance and what he believes in? Because his words and his statements, that 18 minutes on Sunday afternoon, goddamn, that right there alone, I was like, okay, not only is Colin Kaepernick a very educated dude, I'm cool with it because I know what his position is. And like you said, unfortunately, he's gonna be sitting for a long time, if if not for the rest of his life, because that's not gonna happen because people are so busy ignoring that part. And how can I put it? Like with Kaepernick, I salute what he's doing. I wouldn't have had the ball, like my blog I said, I wouldn't have the balls to ever do that. Not because I don't believe in that, I just would have never done it. I would have never thought that to ever do that. But I salute it. And I can hope that this wakes up other athletes and say, well, you know what? Maybe I should do this. Because I don't know. I feel like this is about happening in my mentions, and people bring up his money and his wealth. This has nothing to do with money. You can feel oppressed, and you can feel oppressed. Technically, he's not been oppressed. Like he's not. He said himself, "I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for other people who don't have a voice." When you listen to that alone, right there in that statement, that to me right there says everything about Colin Kaepernick. And I think that we need to move aside and move along to the fact that the flag is not about the troops. It's not about the veterans. The flag is a symbol for the United States of America and the people within America. That's at least how I was raised. And I grew up in a family where my grandpa was in the military himself. He served 30 years. He's always told me that that flag represents the people of the United States of America. When did this become a flag of just the military? When did that happen? Like I'm still like wondering for myself, like when did that ever happen? That symbolized like the military and the troops. That flag symbolizes everybody in America, and it symbolizes the people of America. And Kaepernick's statements, he's been about that. He said he's for the military. He said that he's for the police and all that stuff. And people are getting so sidetracked and so confused. For me, it just pisses me off because you're getting away from his actual message. Because if these people actually cared about these veterans and they cared about the troops, they wouldn't treat them like second-class citizens and treat them like shit when they came back from deployments and stuff. Simple as that. That's just that. I went a whole rant there, but that's just how I feel about it. Like people are so ridiculous when it comes to this issue about Colin Kaepernick. if they felt this way about the troops and about just black people in the film in America, then you know what? We wouldn't have this. He wouldn't have to feel this way right now. We wouldn't have the situation. This would not be a problem. But instead, they're ignoring the real issue, and they're so fucking mad about the fact that he's not standing for the national anthem. Were you upset when a black child was left dead in the street in the hands of law enforcement? Did that piss you off like this? No? Then I would shut the hell up. Like that's just it's just I'm sorry, I'm ranting, I'm sorry. But that's just how I see it. Like I can't believe that this is really happening like that, man. I can't.
So you touched on the flag being a symbol. Symbols mean different things to different people. So I mean it's probably a bad comparison, but the Nike sign, right? For some people that look at it, you can see it as oppression. Sweatshops, all those other things. The overconsumption of America, whatever. For us, we see it and we go, oh, well, that's my shoe. Like, I wear Nikes. I don't mess with nothing else. That's what I wear. It's the holy flag. So, in a crude comparison, obviously, but the flag can mean soldiers to somebody, military. It can mean the greatness of America, the potential of America. It can mean the atrocities of America and some other people. Like you said, we have the freedom of speech, the freedom to act out in a non-violent way. So there's no reason why Cap sitting down should be a problem. I mean, it seems like the only consumption of black people that people want is through sports. No politics. They just want to see their black athletes play ball and win for their team. That's it. It's like I put out there, I said, I really feel like there's a connection of those people who get mad at LeBron and KD and some of those stars who leave their teams and they burn their jersey. And I guarantee you they're the same people who are talking about Cap should never he should have never sat down during the anthem. Because it feels like, once again, it's like and I hate to use the property of people, black people are their property. Right? They hate free agency. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's this whole thing of like, Kaepernick is black, but he's raised by white people, or he's mixed and whatever. He's black, he's raised by white people. And truly too, I would like to know what would the reaction be if Kaepernick was still Kaepernick from 2012, and not this Kaepernick.
Yeah.
If Kaepernick is a top 10, 15 quarterback, and Ron Jaworski's talking about he's the greatest quarterback ever, I wonder what's the difference. It's easier now when he's not even going to play behind Blaine Gabbert and might get cut.
Exactly.
So, but once again, on all these things, why is it that, once again, where's Tom Brady? Where's Peyton Manning? Where's, well, now, actually, you know what? We know where they at. Because Drew Brees, we know what he had to say.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually,
we're gonna get to the reactions. We're gonna get to all that.
But actually, I got a real thing off of Sean when he said people can disagree with his action. I actually think they really can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like everyone's kind of
that's true because technically
everyone's trying to play that stuff like, oh well, I agree with what he's saying, which is, oh good, you want a cookie? You think black people should get equal rights? Oh okay, so you're really progressive. But then like, but I think there's a better way that he could have done it. Like what? What other way?
Well, that's true.
What other way?
Because this is how I put it like that, right? Because in my blog I said, wait, if you disagree with his method, what do you think he should have done better? Because we as a black person, I have seen this for the last year and a half, 2 years now, to where everybody gets mad about how black people protest. Mm-hmm. Everyone. Well, it's not the right way to do it. So how should he do it? He didn't burn the flag like old boy, what's his face, from who killed the 9 black people in South Carolina. Wasn't burning the flag and doing all that stuff. He sat his ass down peacefully, and no one would have noticed if he wasn't like nobody would have noticed at all. Like, except if a fan wasn't nosy. Like no one would have noticed. And to be honest with you, I don't see.
Hold on, Sean. Sean, I got a text from the white congregation. They said black people can only protest in the corner by themselves with no television. That's the only time you guys can protest. It just came across my email.
So no more, no T-shirts, no
Nothing.
marching,
No.
nothing.
Shit is over with.
So,
No.
so when they quote Martin Luther King on his on Martin Luther King Day, they're gonna ignore the protests in history Martin Luther King had, and we're gonna have these the one day of these fake ass quotes that Dr. King had. We're gonna ignore all that. Oh Lord, it's gonna be great. All right, cool. I mean, I'm just like, what? My boy Jake and I had a conversation. We had a little bit of a conversation. My boy Jake is white, and he was kind of like, wait a second. Kaepernick wasn't like he was like, why is everyone so butthurt about what Colin Kaepernick's doing? Like he's not doing anything. I was like, I told him, I said, you are one of the only white people who's understood what is going on because he's looked at the words instead of the action. The words are more important than what his actions are, and it's like if certain white people can get that through their head right now, and I'm gonna say it, if you can get the action out of your head and look at his words, that right there to me signifies, okay, Colin Kaepernick is a real one. Because at the end of it, I asked one of my friends this question. I said, so, because he said that he would hope that the conversation happens at a state level at first. And I know I told him, I said, that ain't never gonna happen. Because I feel like a lot of white people, it's not about them. And they're going to ignore the issue, which is to me is sad because this has been going on. This whole oppression thing is not the first time it's been going on since the beginning of time. But I think a lot of people want their minority, like you said, they want the minority athletes to not speak. They want them to play.
No, never.
And it's
hey, think about this. If there was a conflict in some foreign country. And, J.J. Watt came out and was like, oh, my hearts and prayers are with, X amount of people, and, yeah, with the troops, and we're going to do that. People would be like, oh, my God, J.J. Watt is so great. They're not going to ask anybody, hey, do you agree with the military occupancy of X country? No, they're not going to ask that. But now that it's back on us, and it's saying, hey, what do you feel? I'm not standing for the national anthem because he's not very happy with America. Oh, well, it's about the troops. No, it's not. It's not about the troops. If the troops really care if I stand for the national anthem or not, that makes or breaks their day.
Yeah.
Speaking of the troops, this exposes a divide between the black people of color and white troops.
Oh.
Because I was just talking to a vet the other day. He was like, when they were in Afghanistan, they sent black people out there before the white people. But and then when the black troops get home, they still get guns pulled over, asked to provide registration and everything.
Yeah, because you're black before anything.
It's about the troop. But somehow everything disrespecting the troops. And you get on Twitter now. You have people like vets like Snyder Drippin, James. What up, dog? We got him. He talking about he stands with Kaepernick. And just before we got on, I spotted the hashtag vets for Kaepernick. Vets stand with Kaepernick.
Yo, yeah.
And most of them were people of color. So I'm trying to see where all these disrespected troops coming from.
And people are going in on the veteran, and people are talking about the veterans going in, who are in support of Kaepernick, talking about them bad. The same people who are saying respect the troops, are talking about them. Now, I really don't think. Sometimes some people take things for embellishment. I was sent out before white soldiers because I know there's mixed companies and everything like that, so it goes out. But I definitely wouldn't argue that black military members have a
I don't know.
But yeah, the troops it's wild, man.
Is a
Seeing the
completely
divide.
different. Join it to work for to be a hero, just like some cops. Some cops actually join the force to try to do good and to try to change. Some of them just know, hey, this is an easy paycheck I can get. There's other ones who are fucking assholes and who want to be fucking hero cops and want to be fucking lethal weapon against everybody. Same thing with military. There's always levels to everything that you do or certain things. So there's some people who are there like, hey man, I really don't give a fuck. I'm here to try to, get free college or whatever the case may be.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's some people though who are like, oh my god, I'll bleed for this country. I'll fight to the death. Bless them. If that's how they feel, go ahead. But don't look down on anybody else or try to say you're less of a soldier or a military person because you don't feel the same way they do. And it's a lot of brainwashing and nationalism and all that patriotism and all that shit that goes into it.
I
So
feel like it's fake patriotism. I feel like
no, not from white people. I'll say that. I don't think so because
Oh
this country,
no, it is.
this country is for us. It's made by. It was for us, by us. Everything is for. It is us. So and look, I'm not anti-America either. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I call it how I see it. But there is definitely a large contingent that have been, and it's passed down. My great-grandfather was this, my grandfather was this, my father is a military man, I'm a military man. It gets passed down to be like, this is how you show your love for America and all this other stuff is when you come back. You were in the military. Whereas a lot of the black guys that I know that came back there in the military is just like, okay, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's cool.
I think what I meant when I said like, because I did realize you were still talking about the military. When I said like fake patriotism, I feel like a lot of people in America have fake patriotism. Like that's what I kind of meant.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
Like a lot.
Well, the Olympics just ended, so we're all geeked up off of that still.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of it is because like I wish I would have paid attention. This whole Kaepernick thing made me realize that I wish I had paid attention younger when I was younger to my grandpa's stories about his service in the military, because like this whole thing, I'm like, man, like people. It's always the people who didn't like fight. It might self-include because I never joined the military. But it's always the people who like never fought. They always the quickest ones to stand up for the troops, support the troops, blah blah blah. And then they get mad at several other people who did fight for supporting a Kaepernick or whatever. Because I'm like, wait, how can you get mad and say that someone's disrespecting the troops, and then hold up, you're doing the same thing to a veteran right there? Like that's not adding up to me. Because I went on, I still have my Facebook because I paid $20, $10 to spot it. But it's whatever. I have to. If I'm gonna pay for it, I use it. But I went on the other day and I was all like, wait, how are you disrespecting?
Oh, did you just say you pay for Facebook?
I pay for Spotify.
So I don't pay for. I was like, what the fuck?
So I went on Facebook today. I just happened to scroll and I saw this person disrespecting a veteran for his stance on Kaepernick. And I was like, wait, hold up. And then the reason behind it was that as a veteran he shouldn't feel that way about Colin Kaepernick. I was like, wait, time out. Like this is not, to me it ain't adding up. Because we got more vets sitting being homeless than in like black. I think it's like the statistic was like more Hispanic and black vets are homeless across the country than any other race, whatever. And I saw that, I was like, wow. Because I never thought anything of it. Because I feel like, it just never affected me. Which I hate to say like that. It just never hit me, affected me.
It is what it is.
It just is, so I never really realized it. It's kind of like, it's disappointing for me to see how people always are that quick to use troops and veterans like that.
It's a crutch.
Yeah, and they don't want to do anything about it. About the situation, and that to me upsets me.
He had a good quote on it about the flag being used as a military symbol, and I quote, I have family, friends that have gone and fought for this country. They fight for freedom. They fight for the people. They fight for liberty and justice for everyone. And that's not happening. People are dying in vain because this country isn't holding their end of the bargain up. As far as giving freedom and justice, liberty to everybody, it's something that's not happening. I've seen videos, I've seen circumstances where men and women that have been in the military have come back and been treated unjustly by the country they fought for and have been murdered by the country they fought for on our land. That's not right.
I don't see not one issue or any irrefutable thing that somebody could say about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will say too, another veteran on my timeline is Matt Joe Schmuck, white veteran too, completely stands for Kaepernick. He understands, or off his thing, he fought for the country. He fought for you to do. You want to do your First Amendment right? Go ahead. You understand? Like, he stands for it all with him, and he understands all the bullshit through it, just like most of us do.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly think that most people, even the ones who are even talking about the military, especially the talking heads, so like politics, military as well, is you can't talk about you can't talk bad about the police or the military in voting blocks or in national stuff because you're always labeled the bad guy then, right? So even if a guy who was early in his life in politics was against the police, usually when he tries to ascend to be mayor or something like that, he knows he has to work with them and he knows he needs their vote. So he's going to back off those comments. Same thing with all these other, yeah. A lot of these guys are going to back off their comments when it comes to the military and everything because what? They're protecting us. They're serving us. They're making the ultimate sacrifice. I wasn't one of them, so how can I talk bad about this segment or this group? So it's a lot of that I see on there where I feel like some of them probably do agree with Kaepernick, but they've been kind of so brainwashed or about their money and all this other stuff that, hey, I'm not going to fuck up my shit because, them troops and everything. We're not talking about all the troops. He's not disrespecting the troops at all. You know what I'm saying? He just said he got respect for them. He don't got love for the country right now. What's wrong with that? Donald Trump doesn't have love for the country, but nobody's talking shit about him.
That's what I'm saying right there, man. I just think that people, like you said, people took one fraction of Kaepernick's thought and they separated it to another issue, which wasn't the issue to begin with. His issue and his quotes were talking about oppression in the black community. That's his main issue. It's been we've seen it. This had nothing to do with the truth. But I will say he was right about his facts about how I think it was a cosmetology rather than he was right about his facts.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Did you see the look he just gave? He gave the parental if you don't shut your ass up, fuck you up.
He was like, wait, hold on. He's shut up.
Hey, what if Colin would have just said, I'm not standing for the national anthem until America is great again?
I would have saluted it. I would have applauded.
But Donald Trump would have used that as like his next fucking campaign thing.
People have been so pissed. I'm like, wait, aren't you voting for Trump? Like,
essentially, that's what he's saying. He's not going to stand up until he thinks America is great again or ever or whatever. Hey.
When Donald Trump said how he can lead the country, he's like, hold up. You've been running your whole platform for the last 18 months on the fact that you think America is shit. Like, get the heck, stop.
And then he is the only one who can solve it, and he can do it in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
3 tops.
Exactly, 3 tops. Okay.
3 tops.
Jeez, man.
Hey, I noticed y'all talking about military supporters a while ago. Can we talk about military supporter Drew Brees finally commenting on social issues, but was kind of quiet on Alton Sterling, like 60 miles right down the road.
Man, can I almost bought a Drew Brees jersey yesterday just to burn it like 3 days later. So I have no comment. I don't really know.
You know what I think is, like I said, a lot of, and maybe I'll catch a lot of heat for this. I truly don't think that, like, all white people are racist and all that shit, obviously.
No,
I think a lot of it is that people look out and vote and do a lot of things for their best interests and what they know, things that affect them in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do white people and black people live different lives and are sheltered off from each other? No doubt. Black people obviously have to live in a white man's world, so you get to peek in the closet more than a white person does looking into how black people live. So there's things that, like, they don't know, like, innocent people who've been fucked over by cops. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it is ignorance, and them just kind of like siding with what they feel like they should be. So I think Breeze, this military thing, it touches all these players' hearts because what do they do on Tuesdays and everything? They go to the Wounded Warrior projects. They go to all these things, and they see these injured vets, and they get attached to some of them, and they go to these things. But you got to understand, they're not talking about specific individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once again, we're conflating the flag to be military. Military and the flag are not the same thing. I'm just as much as a part of that American flag as you are, as the military people are. That's what it's supposed to be, I thought. That it's the America, the people of America, not the people who are going out and fighting for the war and fighting for America. But the flag is, supposed to represent, I guess, the American people in all shades, colors, ages, and sexes. But with all these athletes like Drew Brees, once again, they all don't want to alienate the military because they know that's their breadwinner. The NFL is loved by the military. I mean, in fact, they want to conduct themselves like the military. If the military can go without any press conferences and about any interviews, and it can just be shut up and go play, the NFL will do it in a heartbeat.
No doubt.
Man, I'm talking about the NFL loves the military so much
They won't
that
pay
the
them.
military is paying tens of millions up to the NFL just to speak.
Yeah. They won't pay them. Yeah.
And another thing about the Star Spangled Banner, that song, Francis Scott Key, racist ass, he was up there gloating about defeating some slaves after a battle, man.
Yo,
I don't know how they came to the freedom.
I
I'm
never
like,
knew that.
how did they end up doing a freedom song? That song about beating slaves on the battlefront, man. How's that freedom for me?
I never knew it was like that, and then I saw the wow. I was eye open. I was like, oh. I mean, I never really seen the national anthem before. Didn't really care much about it. So I was kind of like, whatever. Like, that's how I felt like happening. I never seen the national anthem. I guess, I would stand. I'm kind of contemplating if I should now when I go to SC Stanford. Like, I'm contemplating if I should stand or not. Because, like, to me, it's like, is it really is it really the anthem? Because the anthem, it became the national anthem in America anyway, like in the early 30s, like right during the Great Depression. So, in the 30s, if you think about it, black people were not, they were free, but we were still segregated.
Quasi-free.
Yeah, put that in quotes. America was segregated, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that anthem really for me? It's a very fascinating thing. Like, I never understood why we have to play the national anthem before every sport in the world.
It's really, the national anthem is really not for somebody like me either. See, a lot of the things that come over is like back in the day, Francis Scott Key and all these dudes, it was wealthy, land-owning people who had everything to lose from the poor or anybody rising up against them and all these other things. It's for them. Hey, look, I stand for the national anthem. I get up for it. If I forget, I'll sit down. I mean, it is what it is. Like, sometimes I'll talk through it. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I sing to it. It is what it is. It's like, hey, sometimes, Is That Your Bitch comes on, and sometimes I rap to it, and sometimes I go buy a bottle. Sometimes it is what it is. Like, it's a song. In the end, it's a song to me. Now, to somebody else, it could be their motto and creed for life or something. But for me, it's just a song. Um, I try to show respect for the for the people who came before me and everything like that. But at the same time, if people have, I would never look at somebody sitting down and not doing anything as, I don't know, it's this big thing. Do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're afforded to. As long as you're not hurting nobody and you're not making an ass out of, making it uncomfortable for anybody else. Hey, you sitting quietly? Sit quietly.
That's
It's all
what.
good.
There was a tweet today. I think. Shoot, I saw that tweet. One of y'all might retweet it about how the dude said, "If you sit there in the national anthem, I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna make sure you stand up and get you up." I was like, I wish someone would try that with me. I started.
I saw that tweet.
I saw that tweet. I didn't retweet anything, but I saw it. Was like, oh, you can't.
Who did this tweet?
It's on one of y'all's timelines.
It's on my timeline. I gotta go back through and watch.
Who said it though? Just like a random?
Some random dude.
It was a random.
Some random dude that kept getting retweeted.
Hey, look.
I'm not even gonna front. Twitter has been on fire the last 4 days.
And look, if you wanna randomly catch an ass whooping, that's on you too. I mean, if your life mission in life is to get your ass whooped during the national anthem, by all means, keep on going. I mean, when the Rockets' red glare comes out, you can get these hot ones in the eye too. It really don't matter.
Well, y'all on land last night when my fellow MVSU person, Jerry Rice, quoted
Jerry, put him in some rice.
Oh, hey man, when Jerry Rice said that,
he quoted Rodney King with an all lives matter, and then said, "Don't disrespect the flag." I'm like, first off, how you gonna quote a guy that said that after he got his ass beat? Yeah, after saying all lives matter, dog. Then said, "Don't disrespect the flag." I'm like, bro. Then you go to MVSU in the early '80s, and it's black as hell down here. So
I mean,
where all this coming from? You appease your golf buddies or something now? I'm talking about they went in on him, like stole off Rice over Jerry Rice. They took his GOAT crown away and everything.
I put it. I think I said Jerry put him in some rice. I just think when I think what's kind of hard for some people to understand is some of these people are just out of touch with reality. Of everyday people. They have their own reality, they have their own life, and like I said, it's who they surround themselves with. And I just think they just don't understand the plight and the strategy or things that other people are trying to get out. Sure, in the sense, do all lives matter? Yes, that's the utopian type of view. All lives matter, of course. But do Black Lives Matter in reality as much as white? No. So the people are just saying, hey, until Black Lives Matter, all lives can't matter. Then, we all know the whole thing. All Lives Matter came out after Black Lives Matter as like a racist fucking credence or credo or whatever. But I think when these people are out of touch, they don't know that. It's like they think all lives matter actually was first, and then some black people were like, no, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
like trying to single themselves out, and it's like you don't know where they're getting their information from. And truly, I don't know if Jerry or any of these dudes give a fuck. They got millions of dollars. They live in fucking life. It's like Jerry is black, but I don't know if Jerry is like OJ, where he was damn near fucking white. I mean, you don't know. I mean, I guess Randy Moss is the fucking greatest receiver of all time now. I mean, I don't fucking know.
No, I mean, I said.
You're right. No, I don't know.
I mean, Skip Bayless like 5 years ago said that Mike Irvin would go Jay Rice, so I'm gonna go with Skip Bayless on that one. I really am. I mean, those guys, I feel like Jerry's in that mindset where I guess I can't speak for him because I don't know where his mindset is. But if I
No.
have to assume, I think, like you said, he's probably just living in a bubble, out of touch with reality, with his millions of dollars. So I mean, I mean, I was I can't say I was disappointed in Jerry Rice. I think the one person I was really disappointed in yesterday that I really just was disappointed. Jim Harbaugh. That disappointed me.
Oh, I was just about to get
That
to
one
that.
really. I was headed to the post office on that one. And I happened just to look at my timeline, end up in line. I was like, oh, you can't say this, because that one right there was like, Jim Harbaugh this summer was out here rocking jerseys and this and that, and then he wanted to be down for the culture and all that stuff. Me personally, I was like, whatever, Jim, do what fits you best. Like, you're this old white dad who wants to be cool, and then
Get them recruits.
yeah, go recruit these, yeah, this and that. But when he said, I forgot his real quote, but he didn't understand and respect the motivation.
I don't respect his motivation.
Yeah, that's when I was like, yo, first off, I hope Michigan goes 5-7, and 5 might be too much. Hope they lose every game this year, but they'll probably start 7-0. We'll get to that later, probably. I'm just
I want.
I literally was like, yo, hold up, like, Jim, you're a person to where you have always talked about progress and progression and all that stuff, and you're gonna sit and say this about a person that you actually like you know this person. And then what killed me the most was how he went on Twitter like an hour later and had that fake ass apology to try to save himself from it. I was like, dude,
Oh, those recruiting. It's
like,
Prince recruiting.
dude, like we saw what you said. I saw your statement in the video. I saw it 1,000 times. It was ridiculous. It's absolutely like you have the freedom to say like, yo, like you really are out of touch. Like I don't know if like recruits are paying attention to that, but if I were a parent and my kid was getting recruited by Michigan, instead of all this stuff that happened with Michigan already, like how they got names wrong and stuff, I would not send my kid to Michigan. And because I saw a Michigan player tweet one of those like the stinking emojis, and I was like, oh, it might be real in Ann Arbor, because if if I was playing for that guy right now, I'd be like, are you serious? So you're not. So you think that you think his motivation is wrong for what he's saying? Like he would need to explain it in my opinion. Like his comment was the one yesterday that was most outrageous to me.
But it's not surprising though. Remember his brother endorsed Trump back in the spring.
Oh really?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know
His
that.
brother and Rex.
The only two athletes I want to hear from on this, well, one of them is retired now, one is Michael Bennett from the Seahawks, because Sherman and Russell have come out all lives mattering. So I want to hear Michael Bennett, his stance. But I also want to hear Marshawn. I got to hear Marshawn on this. Those are the only two people I think can provide me with any type of comedy to this whole thing, because
That's true.
it seems like the Seahawks are a very off-balance team. You got Sherman,
really
Russell. They all about all lives matter in a sense. Michael Bennett has been out for Black Lives Matter for a while. But he's been very outspoken.
He had a statement yesterday about Colin Kaepernick.
What did he say? I didn't hear it. I didn't see it.
He said that he was for his stance on that, and he said that it needs to be discussed within the country. So
Cool, good. I hope Marshawn says some shit too that is epic. I hope he says some shit like, fuck the NFL. I hope Kaepernick does whatever the fuck he want to do. And Russell should have handed the ball off on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, because like you are right though. Like I guess living up here, it's like they really are like the most. I don't want to say the divided locker room, but they really have a lot of different opinions in their locker room. And like I can't put it like I try. If I think you're intelligent enough, I respect your opinion. Even though half the time I don't agree. Like I don't agree with Sherman like 95%. But I understand where he's coming from. I just don't agree
Yeah.
with him. I don't agree with his opinion. So like they
Hey,
come out
I,
with like they come out with like opinions and stuff. I'm like, oh, like it's not like something that I agree with, but it's not like, you know, I don't want to say outlandish. It's not like that's how I feel about them in their locker room, because I feel like they have a really interesting locker room. Like I feel like their discussion in that locker room is very. It's probably one of the most
speaking of
open-minded locker rooms.
speaking of interesting locker rooms, what about y'all boy Bathroom Ben coming on giving his thoughts?
First of all,
He can't. He
get
has
the
no.
name, let's get the name right. It's Big Country Rapist. His name is Big Country Rapist.
You went that far.
All right.
Allegedly.
Alleg-
Hey, look,
Allegedly.
hold on. I don't know how y'all always find. I don't know how y'all. I don't know. I guess I'm terrible. Fuck it. I'm white. I can compartmentalize. I'm actually I really like to watch Ben Roethlisberger play football. Like I think the man is dope at playing football. But if there's about 50 people I really don't want to hear anything from socially, it's Ben Roethlisberger's in that 50. Like I don't want to hear shit from you, man. I want to hear about how you gonna throw Antonio Brown the ball, and I want to hear football shit. I don't want to hear anything from Ben because I don't think he has a leg to stand on in any of that shit.
So who's worse morally to ever speak about this Kaepernick stuff? Is it Tiki Barber or Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh no, actually, Tiki's in the 50, but Tiki actually might be closer to Tiki, man. Fuck him.
I said this morning. I feel bad for Giants fans because the Giants organization is taking some L's because they'll speak about Kaepernick, but they'll defend Josh Brown. It was very telling.
That was nasty.
It was very.
Hey, hey, did y'all read the Sarah Spain article today?
I did.
Okay, so John, you read it.
I ain't have time to go do it like I wanted to.
So basically, she said it's wonderful how everyone has an opinion on this Kaepernick stuff, but when domestic violence comes up, all these same people, you can't find them for a comment. And even she brought up Kaepernick.
And she brought Kaepernick too.
Even she brought up Kaepernick and how he was no comment, but I think some of the good reporting has said that he's becoming more and more. Oh, damn! I really hate to use the word. He's becoming more woke on issues. He's getting older now. He's got to be. I mean, he's getting older, so he's trying to understand social issues a little bit more, maybe. But it's funny how domestic violence, you can beat a woman's ass, you can kill somebody, you can, you can do all this shit, have guns and kidnap or whatever the case may be. But you better stand for the national anthem now, or that's a divisive thing. I sent out the tweet. It was like, player doesn't stand for the national anthem. Oh, that's going to divide the locker room. Player gets arrested for beating his wife, and they're like, "Oh, we'll stand behind our teammates." Come on, man, what type of bullshit?
Yeah, exactly. Like to me, it's oh my goodness. I just find it funny. I found it funny this whole entire time that the New York Giants are employing a person because I personally feel like Josh Brown should not be in the league. After everything that has come out about him, and then some, he beats his wife, and it's happened like more than once. I feel like playing the NFL is a privilege. I feel like, and he's a kicker. You can replace a kicker with him like that. You get paid to kick the ball.
He's a football player.
He's a football player. So to me, if you're gonna say, "Oh, I don't want to get into that," but we stand behind this and that, but then you're mad at Colin Kaepernick for speaking up for a social issue, yeah, you lose me on that. You really lose me as just as a. I mean, I was one of their fans anyway, but they definitely lost me. They lost my interest. Like I hope they lose every game this year too.
Shit,
I guess you go in.
you're gonna have everybody go 0-16 and shit.
Hey, we gonna get on that college football on Thursday though.
That's what's up. Hey, look, can we